For those of you who know or don't know what the coordinated campaign is, they are all the little minions. I'm sorry to refer you as a minion, but it's a good minion. It's a good minion. These are the guys that are doing all the hard work in getting and all of our counties and state. We're actually more state. You're more focused on Ann this year because that's the election.
And it's definitely the top of the ticket, but we have, we have a lot of LDs on our coordinated committee. We have corporation.
Okay. And before, again, so you understand, for those of you who have been long-term, you know this. For those of you who are new, may not. The coordinated campaign doesn't always have a history of talking to us as much as we like them to.
Okay.
So we're really excited to have you out here tonight to talk about kind of what their game plan is going through to November. It's yours.
Should I test it? Okay, it works. Okay, and I'll be totally quick. I know like a slideshow is intimidating and it's going to be like an hour-long thing. It's totally not.
So intimidating.
Are you scared?
Yeah.
So quick slideshow because they made it for me and it's a nice visual. Like I said, I'm Abigail O'Brien. I have the region of CD9 and then some kind of outlier areas. I get the lovely honor of working out of the Ann Kirkpatrick headquarters and also have some field organizers in the cinema headquarters. So I have a lot going on. Program overview. The party is, we have signed on a lot of our state candidates, and we have the biggest field program the state has ever seen right now. So the state has been cut up into 12 different regions, and that does not include tribal. And in each of those regions, you have a regional field director, and then from there, depending on the capacity in that region, there are field organizers, and then we also have paid fellows. So we have a huge field staff. Program overview, how this is working is right now we're in the capacity building stage. There's going to be our voter reg and then the voter contact, and that's kind of our timeline. So capacity building, they are not, all the words aren't coming up. So capacity building, right now we're just reaching out to our LD groups and our PCs, and we are just asking them to come into our office, meet your organizer, get on board with them, connect about scripts, our targeting, and kind of just come into the office and sign up to volunteer. Then it's voter registration. We need to register over 100,000 new voters. And that is for just long-term Arizona, changing it and making it blue. So we have huge, epic voter registration goals. And so I think it's so important if you guys just have a couple VRs with you all the time and you're in line at the grocery store and talking to someone, get them registered to vote. So that's a huge part of it. I have ASU in my region, and so we have a campus organizer that's going to do incredible things over there. Voter contact. So that's the other thing. We need independents to vote for us, so we have to spend so much time in our persuasion universe. Calling people, knocking on their doors. I was talking to CJ, we now have this totally cool thing called Hustle, and we can just text our volunteers and people and just voters, say, hey, we have an event, the Ann Kirkpatrick office, she's going to be there, come and check it out. So then voter contact. This is our overview. So this is what the ADP coordinated campaign is working on. Right now we're still, we're ending up our organization building. We have all of our field staff on, well, most of our field staff on, and we're heading to voter contact. So you're going to start hearing your phone ring a lot, and a lot, and then a lot more. And you guys are probably in the universe of, I'm sorry, I keep moving. Is this?
You're fine.
Okay. You're probably in the universe where people are going to ask you to volunteer. But if you do volunteer, then you get to call people and tell them, get to ID them. Where's your support on Ann? What's your support on cinema? And so that happens from June to July and August. And then September is GOTV prep, and that's when I have no life, all the way until November. And we are just, doing what we need to do with our field game and contacting as many people as possible.
Abby, can I
yes.
interrupt you for just a second?
Please do.
You've been throwing out a lot of political jargon that a lot of us
Okay.
know. Is there anybody who doesn't understand some of the terms, GOTV, immersion, that kind of stuff, or would like to ask for that? Anybody?
Why don't we just clarify what it is anyways?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Get out the vote. GOTV. Voter contact is those calls that are like, are you supporting Ann Kirkpatrick? That's kind of our voter contact, and then we ID them as strong support, lean support, and then E-Day is election day, which is like Christmas, hopefully. That is November 8th. So I just did this. But here's some timeline, some dates that you guys should know. Ballots will be mailed out October 8th. The VR deadline is October 10th, VR voter registration deadline. I should also mention we are pushing huge on mail-in ballots. Democrats are way more likely to vote if it's in their, they don't even have to change, they could just wake up, vote, and put it in the mail. So we need people to register on the Pebble, which is the permanent early voting list. So that is a huge thing. If you are not registered for the mail-in ballot, we can re-register and get you on that mail-in ballot. You're way more likely to vote. And then October 12th is early voting, and that's when we call people tirelessly until we see that they have voted. And election day, which hopefully we can have a nice cocktail.
Or three.
Or more. How can you make a difference? So PCs, you're already like a huge part of the civic discourse and the civic process, but we can ask for more. Register voters, gathering petitions, thank God is done, and making calls. So come in, make some calls for your candidate, knock on doors. We need it. We need it to be huge. We need it to be epic. If there's ever a time, it's definitely now. So, it's not showing any of my writing. So there's events, phone banks, let's see, and that's where my phone number and my email should be. So I'm gonna pass around a.
It's right on here.
Oh, beautiful. That's troubleshooting. Beautiful.
Go ahead.
What a concept. 909-222-7370. And then my email is aobrien@azdem.org.
ERA.
AOBRIEN.
Yeah,
At
azdem.org. So email me, call me, I answer it, and we can figure out who your FO is, get you involved. We like seriously need your help. I beg more. What?
FO,
Sorry, field organizer. Field organizer. I'm sorry. All the people I hang out with are like people at work. It's totally lame. But I'm gonna pass around a sheet that I'd love for you guys to fill out and put like your address, what you're into, not what you're into, but like your preference of volunteer work, and we'll get you involved. But like, thank you so much.
Yeah. I stand here every month and I ask you for money. And there are those among you who don't like that. And I completely get that. I'm totally down with you. I don't have any money. I get it. People asking me for money, it's like, oh, okay, here's $1, you know. I'm totally down with that. I get it. But what I love about this group, and we have such an amazing group of people here, I want to remind you all, if you haven't been here regularly every month, the people in this room are among the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. People like Casey and David, Abraham and Glenda. These are people who work. Chris. I know people here in this room who are absolutely among the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. And what we do as a group, as a district, is we change the future for the people who live in our district, the people who live in Maricopa County, and even the people who live in the state of Arizona. And we do it by working together, by contributing as individuals and as a group. So tonight, what I'm focusing on this evening is very simple, because, you know, last month you guys were so awesome. We gave $500 to the county
Yes.
party. We gave $500 to the state party. And we still have a 4-digit bank account. And we do that because of you. Because you are the people who continue to give, who understand that what we're doing is that important. So tonight, what I'm going to be talking to you about is sustaining memberships. Sustaining memberships can be as little as $5 a month. Some of you are already doing that. Thank you, Jesse and others. Some of you are giving $10, $15, $20 a month. And that's amazing. You know why? Because we are changing the votes in District 24, in Maricopa County, and in the state of Arizona. So what I need tonight, I need 3 people who are going to pledge $5 a month or more, and I need 2 people who are going to pledge $20 a month or more, and I need them now. I need just 5 people. Can I get someone at
You all know Bill. You've probably been avoiding Bill. Because for the past month, I have had him working very hard, calling PCs for signatures, calling PCs for petitions, calling PCs to renew, calling PCs for money, calling PCs for everything. And he's been doing it to the point where I can tell that people are seeing Bill's name on the caller ID and they're not answering it anymore.
That's okay.
But he's going to give you a quick report where we're at, what's going on, and then I'm going to let him introduce our next part of the meeting.
Okay. PC Outreach is gone from last month, CJ surprising me and getting me voted in with a new title, in addition to BZ, what is it, Community Outreach Coordinator? I don't know.
Yeah.
But, so that's, and very quickly, it became a team. The BAZ. It became the PC Outreach team. And it has the members of myself, Dominic Medina, who's traveling on business tonight, otherwise he would be here, and Damian Preciado. We are building for 2018. We're rebuilding the infrastructure. One of this came out of 2 directions, but a lot of it came from PCs, newly appointed PCs, saying, okay, what do we do? And some of them were very frustrated because they couldn't find an answer. This guy got frustrated and helped us develop an answer, and that's why he's speaking tonight. Basically, you're gonna be seeing more of me. Damien doesn't like that I break it down this way so much, but that's tough. You know, I am the field marshal after all. So, but basically,
Herr Field Marshal.
field marshal, yeah. And he likes it because it's field and marshal for the West. You know, which I thought I didn't see it that way. It was pretty creative. So, you're going to be seeing a lot of me because I'm going to be handling the field organizing. Okay, and that's about this year, but it's also about building up the precinct teams, doing recruitment, as we also go crazy, tearing our hair out, getting out the vote. But it's building to get out the vote, and it's building teams and connections. And what does CJ always talk about?
Let him know.
No, we didn't rehearse this beforehand. He talks about relationships, and building relationships in our neighborhoods. What we're going to be doing also is going, wait a minute, we also have to build relationships within our PCs, within our precinct teams of PCs. And that's what I'm going to be focusing my greater part of my energy on, because as Damien will say, we're all got our hands in everything. Dominic Medina is got a real strength in communications. He's going to be kind of taking the lead there. And Damien, who Dominic and I didn't even know until a month ago, and he came to the executive committee meeting, and all of a sudden, and here's this guy saying, and I got this plan, and we're going, holy shit, we didn't have anything written down. This is different. Then, but what's going to happen, and then I'm going to cut it off.
Yep.
What's going to happen is Damien's going to do a presentation pretty much on the whole architecture of how we plan to move forward and rebuild our organizational infrastructure. And that's what you're going to see tonight, okay? And he's done a bang-up job of it. And I forgot my last point.
I am relatively new to working with the party. I've been a Democrat for a long time now, since I became a citizen back in 08, 09, around there. I actually moved out from California not too long ago and been actively involved in a lot of things. I'll share that with you. But I'm super excited to be part of this group, this community, and I look forward to meeting you all individually and just working together. So, I have a little control. Where did I go?
Where's play?
Make it big?
Oh, got it.
Now, I had to put this together myself. I don't have a staff. You know, I work full time, and I make time to do these things after work, between hours, at work, when my boss isn't looking. You know, these kinds of things. We'll get into the strategy overall, but since I'm really new here, I wanted to take an opportunity to, introduce myself properly and make sure that you guys know where I'm coming from and why I'm here all together. So, that right there is where I'm from. That's actually Calexico and Mexicali, only about 4 hours from here, not very far. I'm sure you can tell which side the Mexico side is. But that's where I grew up, and there's a lot of places like that. I didn't realize how similar my situation was to everybody else along the border until I got older and got out of that community. I grew up all of Southern California between Mexicali and Los Angeles. I would move every year. My family, the majority of them were migrant workers, eventually worked up to service. I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship to a private high school when I was very young. I got turned on to Shakespeare and monologues and doing competitions, and I won a lot of those, so they gave me money to go to a high school. And it was a really great school, advanced placement, everything. I was way over my head, just almost drowning, but I made it through, and I got a ride to go to Brandeis University. If you guys aren't familiar with Justice Louis Brandeis, he sat on the Supreme Court. He's a lot of the reason why the world works the way that it works in the United States, quite progressive. I learned a lot there, and when I left there, I wanted to come back home, help my family get off to the right start. I had my sister going to high school and eventually college. I wanted to help with that, and my mother too. From there, once I got them kind of out of the nest, it's kind of funny that way for me, I decided to look at other options, and Phoenix was the place to go. A long history of civic engagement. It's a battleground state for so many different things, and I was attracted to the struggle, and the fact that ever since I've been little, I've been told one day you'll have to do something with the things that you've learned for the communities that you're from, and at first I never really cared for the idea of all that work, but eventually I just came around. So that's a little bit about me. It's allowed me to fulfill my American dream. I'm recently engaged. That's my fiance in the corner, and got a home here in the district. It's our first home.
Craig.
and I have a great career here, so I'm very happy, and it's an opportunity for me to give back to my community. Now, for those of you that like resumes and feel these are very important, this is a little bit about me. 06, Brandeis University, 2 BAs, one in philosophy and Latin American studies. Been a financial advisor for the last 10 years. That's all I've ever done. I got into the industry because I wanted to help middle-class Americans build wealth, and it's nearly impossible, but I'm doing my best. Right now, I also have a lot of experience since I've been in Arizona with working in the community, moving away from focusing just on my family and being able to focus on the things around me. Most of my experience has been around working with corporate and social responsibility programs. So all these big corporations have, philanthropic programs. So part of what I did was create curriculum for financial literacy so that banks like, Bank of America can send employees to nonprofits and teach. So I learned a lot about coordinating large institutions and nonprofits and employees and volunteers. So, that's where I bring some of these things to the table. I participated in the Hispanic Leadership Institute in Valle del Sol. If you guys are familiar with it, it really immersed me in what's going on in Arizona, across every sector, when it comes to education, when it comes to like foster care, and what's going on, issues like dark money, all of that is in the forefront. And while I was doing that, I was also acted as president of a professional organization out here which focuses on Latino development. And so all of these things, are what I bring to the table. This is what happened though when I started working out as a PC. I started looking around, and I've heard from many people that felt this way, that you get all motivated and you try to sign up or you do some activity, but there's not a lot of connection, there's not a lot of communication. It's not for fault of trying, it's a big effort, and it requires a lot of organization any way that you look at it. So since the beginning, as CJ mentioned, I'm bringing this previous skill set, so I wanted to make sure I can leverage that so that we can all do better. Obviously this is just going to be a blueprint, but this is where we are. These are some very high-level problems that I identified. No fault on anybody that's come before. It's just the way things are, and we need to fix them. Something is broken, you fix it. There is absolutely no onboarding program right now, and we're going to change that. Everything will be documented so that as people come in and out of the roles and people move out or to other places and stays, things will be easy to transition, and people can be accountable for the things that they volunteered to do. If you're going to say you're going to do something, then you should do it, because other people are depending on it. We've got great participation today, in getting everybody to get appointed and engaged, and we have some of the most PCs that we've had ever. But the truth is we have about 300 spots available. So we're literally 200 PCs short of capacity. So we're going to change that. It's never even been close to capacity, but I believe that in a community of 150,000 people, getting 300 people to raise their hands is not an impossible task. And I will challenge anyone who says otherwise. Right now, there's not a lot of social events. There's been an annual one, which I heard a lot of great things about. But there's a lot of opportunities to have smaller things so that we get to engage. Not everybody's going to come to everything, but I'd like to just know you, hang out. We all have shared values. That's why we're Democrats.
Damien, but before you go on, I'd like to throw something out here. District 18 every month has a social night. They call it LD18 Fun Night. And one night a month they get together. One PC opens up their house or opens up their community room at their apartment complex or something to that extent. And it's just to get together. They play Cards Against Humanity, political version or regular version. If someone has a pool table, they might play pool. It's a social night. I wonder if that's something that we've done these happy hours and mingles and the big casinos and stuff. But what would you guys think about doing, you know, we'll once a month, a PC will open up their house or community room or something, and we just have a get together. We're all busy people.
Kind of potluck style, kind of, we're not gonna provide anything, you would kind of bring it. I mean, how many people would show up to that just to kind of get to know each other a little better?
So Ray, I'd like to issue a challenge to you.
Okay.
You live in a beautiful apartment complex.
I do.
That has a beautiful community room.
We have a lovely community room.
And I would like to see if you'd be willing to host our first social hour.
I would.
Okay?
I'd be happy to do so.
So here's what we're gonna do, guys. I'm gonna have him talk to the apartment complex and get a date that it's open.
We won't be providing anything, you'll have to bring it,
Well,
but yes.
Hey, you know what? As PCs, we have sustaining members. And
We do have money in the bank, by the way.
Right.
And if we needed to spend 150 on...
No, I'm talking about, I mean, they really, usually it's the host who donates. But also...
Now we have a social event. It's my time.
Oh.
There's not a lot of social events, but that's going to change. That's why we bring it up, because this is what's supposed to happen. Part of the problem that we're having right now, the communications are not standardized. You know, that's why people are not getting a newsletter. That's why people are not knowing what's going on. We are going to fix that because this is the 21st century. The last item is board processes are not currently documented. So you're going to see a lot more of that from us and a lot more transparency, so that you know you can all contribute in the many ways that you can. This is a rudimentary look at the 5 categories that the many things that we have to do are falling into. It's 5 categories, but already that document up there, it's got 43, a combination of 43 tasks, new roles, and/or projects. So those things will create, you know, more babies when it comes to the things that you have to do, and they're all literally necessary. So once we have a good outline and we increase our numbers, we will easily be able to accomplish these things. Initially, we're focusing on some of the internal organization and communication stuff. That way we can push that out to focus on PC recruiting. As I mentioned, there's hundreds of spots available. And further developing PC training, so that as we are onboarding new people, it's not a lot of, you know, headless chickens running around trying to figure out what's supposed to happen. All of that will increase our ability to canvas, to hold different types of events, whether they be fundraising or social, and really build out our community in a way that I don't think anybody's really imagined possible. We're all here, and we all have friends, and I know we can turn them around.
Damien, who else did not get on the list? Sign up for the mailing list,
Just an overview. I mentioned there's like so many different things that need to be done, but right now, priority-wise, these are very short-term goals that you'll see some progress on. Social PC gathering, you just saw that happening. I did not coordinate that. It happened, and it's on there. We're looking at a PC manual. The current one is
Current 14.
Yeah, there's like 14 versions of them, and they're all deficient in various ways. So we're putting them together into one super PC manual that hopefully not only will we be using, but we'll be able to roll out to the other districts, so that this will no longer be an issue, because it is a basic foundational document, and not having it is a pox on our house. It'll include best practices. It'll include, from the manual we're developing an orientation. So there'll be both a little bit of field training through what Bill is doing, as well as some actual, presentations like this, where we can condense the material for people that are more visual in nature when it comes to learning.
Thank you.
We're going to include how to use VAN and Nation Builder, so training will be developed specifically for those things. Those are VAN is very, very granular tracking that's helpful for our candidates, the party, on many different levels. Nation Builder is more of a client relationship management, software. So if anybody's in business, it kind of helps you keep all your friends in order, or everybody, so that you know who's who. and it's more like softer reporting, but it's a fantastic tool, and we're all going to be using it regularly. I hope. And that's pretty much it. You should see action on all of these things really quick. You know, I don't like to linger when it comes to making progress. Yeah.
So back to the best practices. Will that include things like how to talk to people, how to introduce?
Yes.
Okay,
So
excellent.
basic things like, you know, when you're
Persuasive.
walking, like when you knock on a door, you know, you don't crowd the door. You step
Right.
step back. You know, you make sure you have your ID. That you introduce with your proper name. So we'll build that into it, and so that people have that hands-on
Will
experience.
we have a PC ID? Because we don't.
We
have
will.
it.
We will. We'll get there. It'll be part of the process. You know. That's any other questions? I'm sorry regarding this one. And lastly, here at the end, the ask right now. If anybody's any additional feedback or questions, I know it's really high level. In the future, you'll be hearing from us for time and resources, just like you heard about it today. But much more specific, you know, when it comes to this task needs to be done. Is anybody capable of doing it within this time frame? You know, and lastly, you know, thank you for listening. Nice little quote for you people. This generation of Americans has a rendezvous with destiny. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. FDR. That's my email, DemocratDamien. Should be easy enough at gmail.com. And I kept my my 76 so number just for nostalgia's sake. You know, California, near and dear.
So you stand out in Arizona.
Yeah, it's true.
How do you spell your last name? Thanks, Ben Graff, for showing up.
Sam.
Candidate for Central Arizona Water Conservation District Board.
Got it. Good.
Whoa! Thanks, Ben. I am doing finance for Adrian Fontes, who is a member of our executive board. Adrian is an amazing human being, and those of you in this room are pretty much every one of you is aware of the incredible incompetence, corruption, and malfeasance that has been our election processes this year. It's stunning, it's mind-boggling what's happened. Adrian can fix that. He can bring integrity to that office and create an election process that's fair, accessible, where every voter and every vote counts and is counted. So I want to encourage all of you to either come on board as a volunteer, Ray Bradford, ray4fontes@gmail.com, 602-618-9100, or to go to electfontes.com, sign up as a volunteer, or click donate. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.
My name's Eric Chalmers. Not only am I one of the newest PCs here, but I'm also on the finance team for Ann Kirkpatrick's Senate campaign. Usually giving the monthly update and have another update. Just want to first start with a reminder that our opponent, John McCain, is continuing.
Who?
That's right. Is continuing to support Donald Trump despite his continued racist remarks against the judge, his sexist comments, and is continuing to stand behind him. And it just shows after 33 years in Washington, John McCain has changed, which I did the math the other night. That's 9 years longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
So that's also something. So we really, it's a reminder for us every day that we need to work as hard as we can to send John McCain home and put Ann Kirkpatrick into the U.S. Senate. Thank you. And it's actually tonight we are up on air for the first time. Our first Spanish language ad is up airing during Copa America. We translated John McCain's Build the Dang Fence ad into Spanish for him. And which, after he discovered we had done that, actually properly pulled that ad in English down from YouTube because he does not want people to see that ad. So we're very confident how things are going right now. Folks all over the country are taking notice. New York Times was at a phone bank that Abby actually helped put together in our office. They wrote an article. They apparently noticed our vault that we have in our old bank in the office. It's a now legendary vault. You can come see it too if you come phone bank at our office this Saturday, right? This Saturday. I'm working with campaigns across the state with the Arizona Democratic Party and the coordinated campaign because we know this really is our chance to win this year. And we're very confident in that. One thing we are starting to put together, if you're interested, we're starting to put together Women for Ann, but you don't have to be a woman to be a part of Women for Ann, although we encourage everyone to get involved. I'm helping coordinate the event as part of that. But we're putting this together, similar to those of you who recall in 2012. Rich Carmona had a huge fundraiser with Linda Carter, Wonder Woman, that raised a lot of money, over $100,000 for his campaign. We are looking to double that this year. And do an even bigger fundraiser. Thank you, Leela, for helping with our kickoff of Women for Ann a couple weeks ago. We're going to have our first steering committee meeting from 6 to 7 p.m. at the Arizona Education Association. I have flyers here. Please take them. If you have questions, come talk to me after me, and I'll be around. And thank you so much for all of your support.
Our Ann's ads.
For those of you that are new, my name is Lene Almy. I'm running for Phoenix Elementary School Board. I am a teacher here in Phoenix and have been for several years, and my goal is to get a teacher voice onto that school board to make sure that teachers and students are represented in the decision-making process. I've been here every month, so I just want to make sure to give you a quick update on what's new. First, I was recently endorsed by Arizona List, so thank you. I'm really excited to have that powerful organization supporting me. Our finance deadline was last May 31st, so last week, 2 weeks ago now. And we are going to be filing our finance report at the end of the month with a district record-breaking amount of funds raised. That record is not super high, but I've more than doubled it, so that's good. So great progress. And then lastly, we are, it's a nonpartisan race, so we're still collecting petition signatures. And we are doing a big canvas this weekend on Saturday morning, launching from my house. And I would love to have any additional walkers to get petition signatures. We'll be walking in the Coronado neighborhood if anyone is near there. You can see me after the meeting, or you can go to my Facebook event. It's public page, Almy for Arizona.
Voting for the first time, voting for a woman, and voting for myself.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
It's humbling, and it's everything that I've ever dreamed of. So this is the American dream for me. So I run the community garden at Encanto, and I also serve on the foundation board. I was married to a teacher, so I know the struggles of teachers as well. I wasn't a teacher myself. I gave up my scholarship because during that time, my ex-husband, who taught Mexican Studies, the program was dismantled. So then I was discouraged from becoming a teacher, and I'm an interpreter. I still serve the community. I interpret at the federal court and the prison facilities, the illegal reentries and backpackers. What else? I'm very involved in my community, and I really want to represent the children and the teachers and the families, the parents. So that's why I'm running.
Awesome. She really, really is. Ben Graff, I've been here a few times running for the Central Arizona Water Conservation District Board. I just want to thank you all for your support, for your leadership. So many of you were at my campaign kickoff event on May 11th. We had a crazy turnout. We had about 100 people there for a down ballot race. It was an amazing amount of support. We're doing really, really well. I want to go a little off card today because you have in your midst Chrissy Jung, who is your newest, or one of your newest PCs, and she's also my campaign and communications coordinator. So she's awesome. I have no idea what I'd be doing without her, and and I'm so excited she's a PC now, so I'm getting her all involved. Don't let her escape. She can't escape now. I know it's late. I just want to let you guys know this is obviously the board that oversees all the water allocation that comes from the Colorado River into Arizona. There hasn't been a week that's gone by without a front page story about Lake Mead, about our water levels getting lower and lower. This position, which many of you probably have never heard of, although these guys are kind of in the know, but the public hasn't heard of, it's going to become one of the most important boards as we directly engage in negotiations with California and Nevada to protect our water rights and to even convince California to give up some of their water rights to basically spread the detriment, because we're all going to face a water detriment very soon. So it's a nonpartisan race. I'm only on the ballot one time, November 8th, the day that you vote for president. There are only 2 other Democrats on the ballot, Jim Hallway and Alex Arboleda, and we found out just a week and a half ago that there is a 3-person Tea Party slate running for this board. So we have real competition. We each need 300,000 votes to win. So please get out the vote. Please let people know to start at the back of their ballot. Vote for Ben Graff. The interesting stuff's at the back of the ballot, I think. So start with water, all those things. Another thing is we are not able to run as clean elections candidates, as county candidates. We have to run traditional. So I'm going to leave a few of my business cards up here. It's easy to donate on the website. If you can contribute, it's going to make all the difference because we have to reach all of Maricopa County. I started tonight at LD12 in Gilbert, and I'm honored to end here today with you. So thanks so much.
Ben.
My name is Joseph Hatcher. Thanks for asking. For those of you who I've not met, I'm running for Creighton Elementary School District Board. I've been in education for 17 years. Very excited for the opportunity to help really improve the quality of education, teacher retention, bring teachers back into the field. A lot of great things can happen. I was excited to hear Lynn talk because it sounds like we're on the same page. So this is my first campaign, so I'm glad to know that I think my timing is good. So I also, when I heard Ken talk about the dark money petitions, I thought, what a great opportunity for you guys, because I heard a lot of people say, well, who am I going to get signatures from? I also have a signature party this weekend. I will have walk lists, so if you'd like the answer to that question, come to my house 4 o'clock on Sunday. You can reach me at my phone number. I'll say it really slow so you can write it down. 602 697
602.
Oh, he's really writing it down. Good job. Oh, even better. 602 697 2790.
2790.
Yes. Feel free to text or call. I will have walk lists. I will have petitions. And if you didn't get a dark money petition, I even have those for you as well. You can also find more information about my campaign and the event at josephhattrick.com. Thank you very much.
Patrick Seifert, and in addition to being your newly elected vice chair, which by the way is a huge honor, thank you all very much. I too am running for the Osborne Elementary District, and I want to be able to work with Yelenia on every issue that she spoke about, as well as in March, it was first discussed on the Osborne School Board to expand non-discrimination policy to include sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression. And I'll tell you right now, I hope that isn't something that I have to vote for as a potential member next year, but I will. And the second thing is everything I've been harping on. We see it every day. The legislature and the governor, just like they did with prisons, they're now trying to privatize our schools. And we cannot let them do that. Public schools are the great equalizer in our society. When I grew up, I went to a public school with everybody in the town. I was in Sierra, Arizona, just by the border. Didn't matter who your parents were, didn't matter where you came from, we all went to the same schools. And we all excelled, because not only did we learn from our instructors, we learned from each other. And that's what we need to keep. And it keeps getting eroded every day. So I want to be someone who goes down to the Capitol, in addition to administrating the board, to testify whenever I can. I also testified during the testimony over the PPE election. I was the second person to testify that day. I was the first one to call on Michelle Reagan and Helen Purcell to resign. We need more public education, not less. Thank you very much.
So I'm here to talk about ADLPA.org very quickly, very briefly. It was an organization started by Felicia Rodolini following her first run for Attorney General. It's the Arizona Democratic Law Professionals Association. It's open to everyone. You don't have to be a lawyer to attend our events, but we're re-kicking off, and I want to very briefly explain what the organization is. A week from Monday, we have an open house with Ruben Gallego, Raul Grijalva, and Alexis Tamarin, our state party chair, a cocktail party. You're all invited. It's at the San Carlos Hotel, 5:30 to 7:30.
When?
This, a week from Monday, the 20th. I should write those down too. I will in a moment. On the 20th. The organization seeks to organize the legal community around our democratic ideals, but also to provide a resource, not only for our candidates, but for our party. We don't have the outside influence of the Goldwater Institute. We don't have that kind of money, but we do have a lot of talent in our party, and the legal community has not been organized to bring that together to help our candidates and our parties advance our ideals. So we want our experts in various areas to come together, write white papers on various topics of interest, and help our candidates, help our party as we need it. So to that end, we're also teaching courses. For example, so we have the open house on June 20th. On June 22nd, which is 2 weeks from today, I have to do a calendar in my head very quickly. 2 weeks from today, we have a continuing legal education course, again open to everybody, on water law. It is taught by our Democratic candidates for the Central Arizona Water Conservation Board, including Ben Graff and his two compatriots, our other candidates, Alex Arboleda and Jim Hallway. So here you have the benefit of experts in the area, our candidates to get excited about, who are teaching this. If you are a lawyer, you get credit for going to this. If you're not a lawyer, you learn about the topic and you can become a surrogate with a lot more information than Ben was able to give in the few minutes and that he had here. You'll be able to be good surrogates out there to rally up the vote and rally support for him and for Alex and Jim. We have another one the following week on 501c3s and C4s and what you're allowed to do and not allowed to do legally, taught by Jim Barton. I think it's very important for anybody working in the not-for-profit industry.
We call it how not to go to jail.
Yeah, that's another word for it, but lawyers sometimes don't learn that trick either. So again, open to everybody. We hope you will attend. The first one, I'm going to write the dates down, a week from Monday, San Carlos Hotel downtown, is June 20th. Then we have two courses, June 22nd, which is a Wednesday, 5:30 to 7:30, and June 29th, 5:30 to 7:30. We invite you all. If you have lawyer friends, please tell them. If you have lawyer enemies, please tell them as well. So long
I
as
was stopped by the Willow neighborhood when they're having a huge fight about the FAA. So I'm so happy to be here.
But flight paths.
Well, I talked to you last month about the Dark Money Act.
Yeah.
And we've seen the ramifications of that continue. We've seen where, utilities have been using pressure and misrepresenting what's going on in the world. And as I mentioned before, at the legislature, I saw people being pressured with the use of dark money. And we know that Jeff DeWitt was pressured with the use of dark money when he stood up on Prop 123. So we are out there fighting as hard as we can to get the Dark Money Act, Senate Bill 1516, on the ballot. How many people here is carrying a petition right now? How many of you guys have taken a petition to carry? Okay. We've asked every county effort to collect 4,000 signatures. I've asked every district to collect 2,000. We've asked every candidate to collect 500. 500 is 14 sheets. Even though I'm busy running the effort, the role of the Free Enterprise Club and the Chambers of Commerce in threatening and forcing legislators and lawmakers from the Capitol all the way down to school board, this is serious. So we've committed to go out there and get these done, and we must get this done. And we can get this done. So Maricopa County Democratic Party is committed to support the effort. The Pima County has come on board. The Arizona Democratic Party has come on board, and they're going to be communicating to their regional field directors and their coordinators, all to help and get involved. We have, as of right now, 57 days to do it. We can absolutely do it because we are an army of volunteers, of people power against the money here. And I'm speaking to you as if you already know what this bill does because you've heard me talk about it before. So I apologize for anybody who's new to this. We have some materials on this here. We're building up to a huge 4th of July event where we're going to go out there to 4th of July events all over this state and collect petition signatures. But let's be clear about we talked about what happens if we don't collect them and if we don't repeal 1516. I want to talk to you about what happens when we do repeal 1516. First, we make a statement that we will not stand for dark money. And in and of itself, that's really good. Second, we prevent these same dark money groups and individuals from using this as a template to move on to other states, which we know will happen because we've seen it before, right? Next, we will make sure every one of those candidates who voted in favor of the Dark Money Act will be forced to stand up and explain to the public why. Because when we're on the ballot, we get to talk about this for 3 months until November. And there is no better year to do this than now. When you look at the whole rise, even Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders, this year has been about what is wrong with our political system and what can we do to hold people accountable and make the system better. And here's a really cool thought. You know, 1516 takes all of our campaign finance law, Title 16, and strips it away. We're saying, come back in, repeal that bill. What happens when a voter initiative makes a change to state law? It's voter protected. So imagine what happens if we voter protect the entire Title 16. No more do they get to come in and chip away at campaign finance. Do they get to chip away at the laws that maintain transparency? Now this is untested. We've not seen this happen. But we're happy to have that conversation in court. And some people have asked, well, what happened to that other bill, that 2296, the one that they passed to try and force us to go to the ballot twice? Well, we've talked to legal scholars, we've talked to attorneys, and we are convinced that because 2296 was a very sinister, nasty ploy, it was a duplication of 1516 run at a different time, we believe that because it was identical, we will be able to defeat both with one referral or one repeal. Okay? So we have boxes of petitions in the other room. And I'm asking you, just as I am doing, to go to your friends and get those petition signatures. We need 75,000 petition signatures, valid. That's...
Question.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're the person to ask about this or not, but who can sign those petitions?
I love that question. Thank you for that. You're welcome. Any registered voter in the state of Arizona.
Okay.
I went to a little event, a neighborhood event 3 weeks ago, and there were Republicans, Democrats, registered, I don't know what they were. But I talked about this and I set it on the table and there was a line 15 deep to sign it. This is why I am convinced that you will be able to go to any meeting, go to any door, and go to 4th of July events and walk in, talk to them about this, and people will line up to sign it. We're going to have people at the Trump rally next week. And we know people will sign that. Because we know the Republican, Democrat, Independent, 90% plus don't like dark money.
Yeah.
So this is why I have confidence that we as a party can do this. That we can go out there and get those signatures. So 75,000 valid signatures really means at best about 86, 87,000 with a cushion. But we're treating these like gold. We are asking you, when you take one, sign it out. I have with me here today a sign-out sheet, so you can write in the last column how many you take with you. We have volunteers who will be checking in. How you doing? Can we help you? By the way, we do have a bunch of other candidates who have committed to get their 500. Daniel Hernandez in Tucson. Mitzi Epstein is going to get hers. Mark Cardenas is going to get his. And many, many more. So we have a little thing that's about 15, 16, and somewhere on the other side. Oh, this only printed one side. Well, we will get to you, once you sign up, we will email to you a little description about how to collect these so that you don't, so that they're not invalidated. And there's also a video of Terry Goddard explaining this on StopCorruptionNowAZ.com, which I encourage you to go to, give a couple bucks, give your time. If we do this, this is going to be huge for our party. This is going to give us a boost that we need right now. So I want to remind you, because it's strict compliance, you have to mark that you're a volunteer and the county that you're in. Ben Whaley here in the other room. Who? He's in the other room, not Donay. We'll be able to do your notarizing on the other side when you bring it in, when you bring several of them in. You cannot let this become detached. That's why I usually have a little butterfly clip on here. This is the whole bill. This is one of those voter suppression things that they do to us to make it harder. You got to have that whole 55-page bill front to back on it. All right? So, you can't help someone fill this in, but this is very, very eminently doable. And so, I know we can do it, and I thank you for the time. And we've been in meetings every night this week, and we'll continue to go all over the state to talk to people about this. And while you're knocking on doors for your favorite candidates, by the way, this is a great door opener. How you doing? What's going on? How's your evening? Do you hate dark money? I hate dark money. Let's talk about this. And off you go. Okay? Yes.
Please, if you run out, get a fresh one. Do not try to print your own. The standards on how that is printed are extremely strict. If you are off as much as an eighth of an inch on the borders, if you have something flipped, the whole petition becomes invalid, and you have wasted your time for 10.
So
they are
don't
going
do
to
it.
be
Just
measuring these.
take the
so
printed
please get
copies they
official
have.
copies.
Yeah.
Do not try to make your own. Great idea, but please don't try to do that.